r/ask Reddit. What is something that everyone should experience at least once in their lifetime? The night sky without light pollution. Seeing the Milky Way bright and clear in all its glory is an unbelievably inspirational experience. Got that experience in the Navy, when you hit that spot in the middle of the Atlantic where there's no significant human population for at least 1,000 miles in all directions. The night sky is absolutely breathtaking. Came here to say this. Standing outside and you can't see your hand in front of your face. But the Milky Way is so bright, it would take forever to count all of the stars. Being taught by a good teacher who is passionate about the subject and the students. Can confirm, it changed my life. Being financially stable. Currently working on this, from building my savings to trying to improve my credit score. It's tough and likely an extremely long process, but I'm hopeful. Seeing the ocean. Yes, it may not seem like a big deal to people that live near it, but as someone that was born and raised in the Midwest, it took me 30 years to get to an ocean and it blew my mind. Getting their ass kicked in something they originally thought they were good at, it's truly a humbling experience. Someone will always be better than you. You just have to learn to accept it and move on. Closing 76 tabs after a school project. Ah, so that's what people call it nowadays. Well, you can save most memorable articles to your homework folder for later reference. 8 hours of sleep. To be loved, I mean, really loved by someone other than a family member. This makes me sad. The rush of adrenaline and the sudden realization of how mortal you are that can only come from near death. Seeing the northern lights. Have a late night talk or hang out with your friends without getting absolutely trashed. I've had this with my childhood friends. Whenever someone comes home from abroad or someone gets married, we take a day off, or half, at work and do a small reunion. No one seems to notice how late it gets. We would just talk and drink, alcoholic and non-alcoholic. No pressure on which ones to get. Play cardboard games. Listen to someone play the guitar. Reminisce school. Talk about the future. Anything goes. I feel like everyone should at least experience this. It's so chill. Living alone. All I did was fap and binge TV. You forgot the part where I was too lazy to cook, so it was just junk food. Sleeping under a starry sky. Jumping from a safely high cliff into deep water. That first breath when you swim back up and reach the surface of the water is something special. I can't swim. A best friend. I had one best friend once. Like, truly, she's no longer my best friend. It was more heartbreaking than losing my first love. It's crazy. Running into her in town now, it's like we are strangers and it's the worst. I still look back on the good times. Ever since, with any new friends I've made, I yearn for that same connection I had with my old best friend. But I've never found it again. Not yet anyways. I have some good friends. Don't get me wrong. But not as special as a best friend. To tell someone that you love them, and have them look genuinely happy back at you. Why my eyes wet? A real, genuinely challenging decision. Not just something that makes you think, but something that makes you worry, and stress a little, and worry in the immediate aftermath of the decision that you may not have made the right choice. And then just accepting it, because as much as it would be nice to live without worry, it's important to learn that sometimes there won't be an easy choice, but that things will work themselves out ultimately. Hitting rock bottom and bouncing back, it changes you for the better every time. I don't know, man. That weird dopamine surge you get from bouncing back is orgasmic, but after going through so many of those cycles, you just start to wonder why you keep hitting rock bottom. Sure, I'm a little more wise each time I bounce back, but why do I fall in the first place? Makes you kinda feel like you're a duck up when you consistently keep ducking up. It's rather mundane, and some people hate doing this, but everyone should take a trip on an airplane. It still blows my mind that human beings developed technology that allows us to be transported in a metal and plastic tube thousands of feet in the air. I especially love the rush as the plane is building up speed just before takeoff. I also find it amazing that our technology has advanced to the point where the airplane itself can do a lot of the work, in terms of staying on course. Wanna have some fun? provided you're in the US. Other countries' aviation policies are different and I'm not sure they offer the same thing. You can take a discovery flight at most flight schools in the US and for typically under $200 you'll get to fly in a small guard aircraft. Typically something like a Cessna 172, and after takeoff, depending on the CFI you're with, you'll likely get to take the controls for a lot of the flight. It's an amazing introduction to the world of flying, and typically for less than the cost of a commercial ticket. What costs slightly more is when you then realize you really want to do this a lot more, and by yourself. So you start paying for hours to work towards a PPL. Fail. Really truly fail. Also, it only really counts for anything if it's totally 100% your fault. Failing a class because you just aren't smart enough or you were too lazy to study. Losing an actually good stable so because you weren't a good enough partner. Not getting or even losing a job because you aren't good enough, etc. It's the biggest educator. Lost my SO in December last year because I was emotionally abusive and controlling. It shook me to my core. Ever since that day I've changed my entire attitude and outlook on my relationships with my other friends. Hearing the ice cream truck music and running to you mom for money, then sprinting down the street in time to catch the ice cream truck. I work as an ice cream truck driver. Honestly, one of the best parts of my job is looking in my mirror and seeing 10-year-olds sprinting after my truck. Brings me all sorts of happy memories. Fellow ice cream truck driver here. Is there a better job we could ask for? I work on an idyllic little island town and all day kids get stoked to get their Batman or SpongeBob pop. And I get to be the one to make them smile. Can't beat it. Honestly, there's no other job where I'd be happy to sit in hot conditions for 10 hours at a time. My truck has soft serve and milkshakes too. Even adults come up and mention how much the bells on my truck mean to them and it never fails to make me smile. Going to a concert of your favorite musician or a band. This is a truly amazing and life-changing experience. You feel so alive, as if there is no tomorrow. May I add something to that? Hanging out at smaller venues, festival stages, checking out names you've never heard before, and suddenly poof you have a new favorite band. Dancing with your friends when everybody goes home and that band is actually just frickin' awesome, is amazing. Spending a day night with stranger and them never being in your life ever again. But when you think back on that, it puts a smile on your face or reminds of you a happy moment in life. Priceless. I am not talking about a one night stand as in just have sex when drunk and then leave. Like a stranger suddenly come into your life for a very short time. And then the feeling or longing for that person again but knowing it will never happen. Like ever. This is my favorite reply to this question. That feeling is really something special. It's even better knowing that I will never be able to speak to that person again unless we randomly cross paths. Unlikely. So everything I know of that person remains as a great memory. Total solar eclipse. It is one of the most awe-inspiring sights our solar system has to offer. After being directly in the line of totality in North America in 2017. I'm completely hooked now. Next one locally in 2024. Working in retail. Seeing yourself in the best shape of your life. Seeing the Milky Way with their own eyes. A breakup. You learn that breaking up is not the end of the world and become stronger as a person. Hiking, camping overnight. A debt-free life. The thrilling feeling of finding out a word's etymology. Riding a motorcycle. I've never been skydiving, but the wind and freedom made me feel like I was flying. A hug. Going to Australia. A concert at Red Rocks Amphitheatre. I don't wish this upon anyone, not even my worst enemy, but addiction is just something I wish more people understood what it is all about. I hate when people say things like kill all the junkies cause they are just a waste of life, or why don't they just stop and get their life together. I hate that shit cause junkies are people too and are just going through a really bad problem. It's not easy trying to stop and it's probably one of the toughest things anyone could go through. Not only that, but the family members or friends of the addict is also getting hurt too. But yeah, I don't want people to experience this ever, not even once, but to just take some time to understand more about addiction. Cause unless you go through it yourself, you won't really get it. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.